YouTube channel, and we are live for Europa League final 2025-2026 final. And it is one of those first series of European finals. First, we'll start with Europa League, then we'll go to Conference League, then the big final everyone is looking forward to is the Champions League final. And as you know, the winner of this final, of Europa League final, that is being played tomorrow by Villa and Freiburg. Uh, yeah, Europa League final. Sorry, I'm not sure this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so now it is okay. Yeah, so as I was saying, that the winner of this final will qualify for Champions League football. Amazing Champions League football. Obviously, Villa has already qualified for Champions League football, but for Freiburg, a team like Freiburg, it means a lot for Freiburg to qualify for Champions League football. Through, through the league, Freiburg will qualify for Conference League if they lose this final, and Villa will qualify has already qualified for Champions League through the league. But for for the league, for the Premier League teams, it means a lot for Villa to win this final. If Villa wins Europa League final and they manage to if Villa wins Europa League final and they manage to finish with place, it is unlikely, but it's a big if they lose the next game and they manage to finish fifth place, then sixth place could go to Champions League football. That means teams like Brighton, Bournemouth, no teams like Brighton, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Brentford have a chance to fight for a Champions League spot. That gives them a glimpse of a hope to qualify for Champions League football. For some of these teams, it's a glimpse of hope to qualify for Champions League football. For a team like Chelsea, it is a last chance to salvage a poor season that they've had this season as well. So for teams like, so that's why teams like the Premier League teams will be watching this final, hoping that Villa wins the Europa League, and they'll be hoping that Villa loses their last game of the Premier League so that they can finish fifth, and those other teams can get a sixth spot in Champions League football. And that means that the number of English teams going to Champions League football will increase from 8 to 9, and yeah. So obviously, where so how did Villa qualify for Champions League football? Um, yeah, Freiburg has had an incredible form. Wait, sorry. Yeah. So okay. So, yeah, so for Freiburg, winning the match secures automatic qualification for 2026-2027 Champions League. It marks the first time in Freiburg's history to play in the competition. Should they lose, they qualify for the UEFA Conference League as the seventh place team from the Bundesliga. That's the thing. Um, a win A win guarantees Freiburg entry into Champions League group. A loss means that they qualify for UCL. For Aston Villa's situation, they are very qualified for Champions League. However, the European stakes are strictly about lifting the trophy, as the Champions League spot is locked in no matter what happens in the final. It will not hurt Villa if they win or lose, but however, they'll lose a chance to not win a trophy. But for the Premier League, it will hurt them more. Yes. So, what else? Yeah, the result of the Europa League final will directly impact European qualification slots available to other nations in both Bundesliga and Premier League. This is because the winner will automatically receive an automatic path to Champions League football, and it triggers a shift in how the domestic tables in Bundesliga and Premier League will be rewarded. That means at how would if Freiburg finished seventh in the Bundesliga, the outcome of the final for Freiburg will determine whether Germany forfeits a European slot or upgrades its overall presence. If Freiburg wins against Villa, Germany will send five teams to Champions League and two teams to Europa. However, because Freiburg automatically upgrades to Champions League from seventh place, the Bundesliga forfeits its Conference League spot entirely for 2026-2027 season, which means no lower team like eighth place will inherit it. But if Freiburg loses, there's no change to the league allocation and the standard layout will remain intact, leaving Germany with four European teams, two Europa League teams, and a Freiburg occupying the lone Conference League playoff spot. Whatever, there's an impact on the Premier League. Aston Villa have already secured a top five finish in Premier League because top five automatically qualify for Champions League. Yes, and Villa, it is unlocking a Champions League spot because they have already qualified. Villa's victory could potentially hand England and Premier League teams a rare chance for sixth place to get Champions League spot. This relies on entirely on where Villa finishes. It relies on two conditions: where Villa finishes on the final day of the Premier League and if Villa wins the Europa League. If Villa finishes fourth, a Europa League win changes nothing for the rest of the Premier League, and the automatic title holder's spot is absorbed by the top five finish, leaving the standard European spot as they are in the Premier League allocation. If Villa wins the final and drops to fifth place, England is guaranteed a sixth Europa League spot, no Champions League spot, and UEFA rules if a Europa League qualifies for champions via a domestic league spot that was earned through the league's European performance spot fifth place, the title holder invitation is passed down. This will upgrade the sixth place team like Brighton, like Bournemouth or Brighton or Brentford or Chelsea, one of those, to Champions League. If Villa lose, the allocation remains exactly the same way. Now, this is how they have both performed in the campaign. Yeah. So both teams have finished top eight of the group phase in the league stage. Both teams have finished top eight of that group stage. To skip the playoff round, that means they didn't have to play knockout playoffs round, but they experience different defensive strategies. Like Freiburg has had three losses in total. The Freiburg team has suffered three narrow away loss defeats during the campaign. They lost 1-0 to Lille in the league phase. They lost 1-0 to Genk in the round of 16 first leg, and they lost 2-1 to Braga in the semi-final first leg. And note that this final is being played away. If you have already experienced three away losses, that is a red flag. Villa has had two losses total. They have cruised with the highest structural control, losing just two on the journey. Details of that appeared with a 1-0 loss to Nottingham in the semi-finals first leg. Road to the final, Freiburg emerged as ultimate comebacks kings of the knockout stage. This is after, in the round of 16, they were trailing to Genk. They exploded for a 5-1 win in the second leg to come back and to pass. They passed Celta Vigo on a 6-1 aggregate before turning a 1-2 deficit against Braga by winning 3-1 at home to advance 4-3 overall. Villa maintained complete home dominance. They are easily dispatched Lille 3-0 on aggregate. They destroyed Bologna 7-1 across two legs in the quarterfinals, and in the semifinals, they responded to a 1-0 loss against against Nottingham by hammering Nottingham 4-0 at Villa Park in the semifinals. Yeah, so the manager is Freiburg is led by Julian Schuster, who took over the monumental task of succeeding the club legend Christian Schlatchet and instantly guided them to the very first final. As Villa, the manager is commanded by Unai Emery, the undisputed king of this tournament, who is appearing in a record-extending six Europa League final. This is the very first major European final for the club's history for Freiburg. The previous highest point before this season was a standard round of 16 run. Villa obviously has a lot of history. They have European royalty. They famously won the 1982 European Cup against Bundesliga against Bayern Munich, and have never advanced past the UEFA Cup slash Europa League quarterfinals until now. It means for both teams, it's a historical night tomorrow. Will be a historical night for both teams, and the town times obviously and loss historically struggled to balance domestic rivalry survival with Europe, notably suffering heavy aggregation like a 5-0 collapse to not West Ham in 2024. Villa's downtimes and loss, they suffered a grueling decade of decline, including a relegation from the Premier League in 2016 before Emery spearheaded the resurgence. Key players to watch tomorrow night. We have people like Winger. We have people like Winger. Grifo leads the attack with 5 goals, while veteran defender G- Ginter has remarkably played every single minute of the European campaign. The youngest goalkeeper, Noah Atubali, anchors the backline. For Villa, players to watch Ollie Watkins in the men's talisman, boasting 90 goals across all competitions. He is brilliantly creativity of Rogers and also the club captain, Don McGinn in the midfield. So obviously that leads to one final segment of this thing is what are my thoughts and predictions? Yeah. So first of all, my first thought of this game is going to be a tight game, obviously. Both teams have played incredibly well in this tournament and they both deserve to be in Champions League in Europa League football. Obviously, Freiburg has more motivation to be in Champions League than Villa has because if Villa lose, doesn't matter. They're already qualified for Champions League, and Freiburg qualifying for Conference League, they'll be heading to this final thinking we want a better ticket than Conference League. We want Champions League tickets, and Freiburg motivation to qualify for Champions League ticket will push the game for Villa to make it very hard for Villa, and it will not be easy for Villa as well. So I think Freiburg will push Villa to the maximum. I know this Europa League final will be held in Hungary, yeah, in Turkey. Yeah, it's a smaller stadium than the stadium hosting the Conference League final. And for Villa, will in Emery bottle another final? Hopefully not. Yeah, if he does, it will be on him. But I think it will be a tight game. Yeah, I feel like, to be honest, if I give you guys honesty, I don't think this is a game that will last 90 minutes. I feel like this is a kind of game that could go past 120 minutes. And even past 120 minutes, it could go to penalty shootout as well. But if someone wins, it will be a win by a slight margin of 1 goal difference. Yeah. But who am I backing? Obviously, I'm backing Villa to win. I feel like Villa is the stronger, and it will be a 1-1 draw after end of extra time. Obviously, full time it will be 1-1. After end of extra time, they will not both teams will not manage to score after 30 minutes, so it will head to penalty shootout where Freiburg will have 2 penalties saved, and Villa will have 1 penalty saved, and Villa will win Europa League final to qualify for Champions League football. And that's a wrap. By the way, before we end it, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We are on 999, 991 subs, 9 subs, closer to 1K subs. So if you already subscribed, thank you for subscribing. If you already like this stream, thank you for liking this stream. If you haven't yet, please like the stream as well, because it will help YouTube to know the content we have made as well. And if you're new to the channel, comment down what we can improve on those other things, and help us to reach 1K subs. If you already subscribed, also you can share with your friends, family members, and spread the word around. And that wraps it up. I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for watching Football Overseas. We're thrilled you joined us for today's action and analysis. If you enjoyed the stream, smash that like button, share with your football family, and subscribe to never miss a moment. Stay connected with us, Instagram at Foyt2019. X at Kyle44323945. Facebook, Football Overseas and Football for Life Show. TikTok, FO_NextGen_SportShub. Catch all your favorite shows: Premier League Game Month Show, Champions Crystal Ball, Goal Plus Africa, Eurovision, Libertadores Vision, United Frontline, Harambee Stars Unleashed, and more. We bring you global coverage, from the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, and Bundesliga to F1, cricket, NBA, and rugby. Want to join our team of predictors? We're looking for passionate fans like you. Email us at fanmanchesterunited515@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram with your name, favorite team, and nationality. Football Overseas is where passion meets sports. The final whistle may have blown, but the conversation continues. Keep your passion burning.